We're going to bring in Virginia, who is a current patient of Dr. Andre Williams, and he spoke a little bit about her yesterday.
Good afternoon, everyone listening. My name is Virginia Summersall, and I'm sorry that I'm not able to share with you like the others will this afternoon or have been. But in 2021, I was diagnosed with merkel cell carcinoma, and that was as a result of a biopsy that was done on an inguinal lymph node, my right groin. I noticed that there was a lump there where where those lymph nodes are usually not palpable, but this one became quite hard and made me quite alarmed. And so my doctor sent me to a specialist who did a biopsy, and it came back that I had merkel cell carcinoma. That is determined to be a very rare form of cancer. And a few months later, I had surgery where they removed not only that node, but they were removed a number of others just to make sure that there was nothing else there. Thankfully, I'm grateful to God. I'm grateful for the physicians and all who were involved in my care. There was nothing else found there at that site. And so their concern was, where was the primary site? Because merkel cell apparently has a site of origin. They couldn't find one. And then I went through different tests. The doctors who tested me later thought that there was something going on with my pancreas, although it wasn't definitive. They ran tests and other tests, and the bottom line was they recommended that I have surgery, although they weren't sure, but they had doubts. They had a feeling that something was happening with my pancreas, gallbladder, and all those other organs there. And I opted for not surgery. And so at that time, I started looking around for alternatives, because the surgery would have removed part of my pancreas, my gallbladder, part of my liver, part of my intestine, my small intestines, my part of my stomach. And I thought, what would be left of me when they were all done? Not only that, but I would be permanently on drugs. And there was no guarantee that that, surgery would have helped. And the other thing that was nagging me was they weren't sure that there was an issue there, but they were just being proactive. Anyway, I started researching and figuring out, where do I go from here? And the curious person that I am and was then, I still am, I started looking around for alternatives and other therapy, food, diet, lifestyle changes. And I came across a pancreas supplement. I don't even remember how I came across it, but I did. I just kept looking up pancreas, food for healthy pancreas or food for cancer, whatever. And on the bottle, as I usually read, it said that it was formulated by Dr. Gonzalez. So I figured, well, if this is a product that was formulated by this doctor, I want to know more about him. And so that I researched and came across the doctors, the Gonzalez Protocol doctors. And I got in touch with the Gonzalez Guardian people, and they referred me to Dr. Andre Williams in Jamaica. Thankfully, after applying, I learned I had to apply and find out if this doctor or whichever doctor I applied to would accept me as a patient. And so I'm grateful that Dr. Andre Williams accepted me as his patient. I went and had an appointment with Dr. Williams in Jamaica in Montego Bay, and went through all these different tests. And then I was put on this protocol for people who were parasympathetic dominant. and I am one of those people. And it was awesome. It was daunting. It was scary, because prior to going and applying to Dr. Williams, I had read that once you're on the protocol, you do certain kinds of things. You follow a certain diet. You follow this, you follow that. And there were so many supplements and different things to do. I wasn't scared. It was just overwhelming. It was just overwhelming. But I made the conscious decision that once I was accepted and I was able to, follow the protocol, that is what I would do. So I complied. It was difficult in the beginning because there were so many things to do. But one of the things I found out was that, or I discovered along the way, that one needs to be disciplined. First of all, I decided that this is what I wanted to do. So I set my mind that way. And then I discovered that in order to follow the protocol, I had to have discipline. I had to have some kind of structure on a daily basis. And here I am, a grandmother to a then 2-year-old, and my daughter was working full time. It was in the middle of COVID or all that nonsense that happened. And it was hard, but I stuck to it and I disciplined myself. I even used a timer with an alarm clock to tell me when I should do different things or when I wouldn't do different things. And that is what helped me. Prayer. I prayed for strength. Dr. Williams helped and encouraged me with that. But I had to have faith in a God who raised me up for this time, and also was looking over me and watching over me. And so with all that gratitude from family and doctor and friends, and just the fact that Dr. Gonzalez came up with this protocol, I was very grateful to. And so I pursued the protocol. Now, fast forward to, what is this, 2025? So I've been on the protocol 23 to 24, 24 to 25. I'm in my 3rd year. And I started out with some very bad numbers. Mercury levels were bad. I was depressed. I was angry. I had all of those things. The capacity for my cancer cells to multiply was very high. And all those toxic numbers are down. They are down, down, down. I'm feeling much, 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 much better. The other day, I discovered that I could open bottles. My grip strength is back. My mood is better. I'm so much different than when I first started. Mm-hmm. It is still the same protocol. Nothing has changed, but it's more a routine now. And my body has even become habituated to that, whereby sometimes without even going to the alarm, I know what time it is to do certain things. So I must say that I'm grateful for the protocol. I don't have any side effects as such. I know they're cleansing responses, and those were very real when I first started. But there's a big difference between taking drugs that do something here and then they affect other things along the way and cause serious side effects, compared to food supplements, glandulars, vitamins, minerals that heal the body, not only heal the body, but heal the mind. And I'm very grateful that this is where I am now. And I encourage others who are in a similar situation or are facing something different but could benefit from the protocol, that they would take a look at this and consider if it would work for them. I spoke to someone a few weeks ago who said to me that they were getting weary of the feeling nauseous and the, not feeling well sometimes. And I reminded this person that if our bodies, I thought of a house. A house is undergoing renovation or renovations. And if a house could talk, it would scream for a long time before it became new again. So I consider, I just took that as an example. Going through this renewal or this healing process, so many things are not pleasant, but just consider, just like a house that is sort of worn down and tired and broken in parts, once the renovation begins, you have to knock down parts here or dig out here and put down new concrete or cement or whatever. But the finished product is beautiful. Sometimes, even most times at least, more beautiful than the original house. Beautiful. So I look at it that way. And one of the things I did say to Dr. Williams that helps me, and I did read it somewhere, that in a storm or when one is driving in the snow and you hit a rough patch of road, you keep your eyes on the road. And it doesn't even have to be in snow, but especially up in Canada where I am, the driving, the sense or the good sense about driving or good driving is that you steer towards where you want to go. And so I remind myself of that all the time. And also if I'm tempted to feel down on a particular day, I look back at where I was in 2022, and it was not a very good place.
Virginia,
so I'm grateful.
That's amazing.
I'm grateful each time I take my supplements or I do certain other things related to my care and my healing. I imagine whatever I'm doing just taking me a step higher to feeling much better and to overcoming this. And I must say that I've come a long, long way. Thank you.
Thank you so much.